Did today's snack really start off as horse feed?
Find out next on Junk Feud.
Aw, yeah! Welcome to Junk Feud, the podcast about junk food, where we rate and review mystery treats to determine which one will be the undisputed champion of snacks. I'm your host, Mike. Alongside me, as always, Alyssa.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Liz.
So you've definitely heard this one before, but I still really like it. So, what kind of pants do Mario and Luigi wear?
What kind of pants do Mario and Luigi wear? Well, they wear overalls, Liz.
No.
No.
They wear denim.
Oh, my God. Denim. Yeah, like level 1, 2.
Denim.
Wow.
Now I look good.
Hey, here's one. What did the Pink Panther say when he stepped on an ant?
What?
Dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant.
I've never watched Pink Panther.
So you don't know you don't know the Pink Panther theme song?
Like, I've heard it before.
Oh,
I've
my
never
goodness.
watched it.
Well,
Okay.
that was 2 dad jokes you tell to your dad, and one your dad tells you today. If you'd like to submit a dad joke for Alyssa to tell me on the show, you can send it in to us via Twitter at JunkFeudPod or via email to junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Liz,
Yeah.
welcome back once again to the world's yeetest podcast, hitting them with the Riz each and every week.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to do something unprecedented here.
What?
So you got a whole bunch of marshmallow peeps in your Easter basket this year,
Yeah.
and you said, scrap the show, don't do the intro, forget about all that. Nobody wants to hear about it. They just want to see you eat all these new peeps.
Yes.
So you're going to try all the new marshmallow peeps that you got.
And you are too, Dad.
Oh, great. I'm so excited for that. You started already with Dr. Pepper peeps, Liz,
Which we've already tried.
which we've already
still
had, but
so
they're
good.
really good. Exclusive this year to Walmart. They actually smell and taste like Dr. Pepper. I couldn't believe that.
So I'm going to lay them all out.
Okay, next up, you have cotton candy marshmallow peeps. I should also mention that all of these are the little chicks,
Yeah.
right? Not the bunnies.
Yeah.
I think I actually like the bunnies better than the peeps
Really?
as a shape. for
I
the
have
peep.
all my bunnies downstairs. this
Yeah.
year.
What do you think? Do you like the chicks better or the bunnies better?
I like the chicks. Look at my fat chick. Ooh, it smells like cotton candy.
Wow. Yeah, wow, sure. The cotton candy peep smells a lot like cotton candy. Very sweet.
I got peat flavored cotton candy this year for Easter.
Peep flavored cotton candy.
Yeah.
We're like down the rabbit hole with that. All right, here's the cotton candy peeps going in.
Mmm.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely cotton candy. And peep.
Not much
Wow.
flavor, but they're really good.
Wow, that is sugary. Oh my goodness. So, all right, so far, what do you think bliss point score for Dr. Pepper peeps?
A.
A, and cotton candy peeps?
B.
B. Okay, B flat?
B flat.
B flat, sure. What's up next?
Tropical burst.
Tropical Burst. This is a big pack. There's like 15 little chicks in this pack. And on the packaging for Tropical Burst peeps,
Looks like pineapple, lime,
yeah,
cherry.
there's some citrus fruit, there's pineapples, there's limes, there's oranges, there's lemons, there's cherries.
I want that one.
I don't know. Are cherries tropical? I don't think they are.
I would say so.
You would say so? Where do cherries grow?
On bushels.
On bushels?
Bushels.
How about a cherry tree?
There's a cherry tree.
Yeah, remember George Washington chopped down a cherry tree? Was it
Wait,
him?
I'm pulling at the top.
I don't know. Oh, there's a big whiff of...
Like fruit punch, but we have
Yeah, they do smell
Really
like fruit
bad.
punch, which is funny because, spoiler alert, up
We have
next,
fruit
we
punch
also have
peeps.
fruit punch peeps. The Tropical Burst peeps smell like... It smells
this
like
smells like the tropical
high
gum.
C.
Or like the tropical gum.
Or what's the one with Punchy? The mascot's name is Punchy. Hawaiian Punch. That's
Oh, this smells like
what that smells like.
My
Hawaiian
sugar
punch.
scrub. My mango sugar scrub.
smells like mango sugar scrub. Okay, let's
Yeah.
try this one now.
Whoa, that's good.
It is good. I don't know what it tastes like.
I like it though.
I mean, it tastes a little bit like a stick of juicy fruit bubblegum.
Yeah.
Like a little bit like that. Sort of a vaguely citrusy, sort of generic fruity flavor. Not bad.
Well, next,
What do you think for a score for that one?
B minus.
B minus. Okay, sure. Here's the fruit punch peeps. Now, this is funny because the Tropical Burst peeps package has a lemon, a lime, an orange, a cherry, and a pineapple.
And that's exactly what
And the
this
fruit
one has.
punch package has a lemon, a lime, an orange, a cherry, a pineapple, also a grape. So
Oh.
maybe the addition of grape is what makes fruit punch. And tropical burst, tropical burst. What do you think?
I have no idea. They look like they will look the same.
They're probably going to taste exactly the same too. Every one of these has the undertone of
No?
wow. Okay, so those smell a bit stronger.
Definitely.
There's like a weird almost chemical smell to these.
Like a medicine.
Yeah, sort of like
They're really
I don't know,
bright
it smells
red.
like a barber shop almost.
A barber
Yeah, these are
shop.
super red.
These
Even
are
the
weird, like,
even the
texture.
marshmallow on the inside is red, and they're a little bit squishier than the other
Okay.
peeps.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoa.
Again, super sweet, like sickly sweet.
Oh, I don't like that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
very. No, I'm not eating that. Very dominant, like cherry flavor on that one, and a little bit of grape. The grape comes through, I think. So the
Okay.
packaging did not lie. And now the wild card list.
Hot tamales.
Last but not least, hot tamales, fierce cinnamon. A friend of mine at work had these. Said they were very good. Shout out to Theo.
Get it open. Ooh, they don't smell bad. They smell like a Halloween candle.
Halloween candle, you say? I could see I could see like a fall candle flavor from this one. It's my guess is that these are going to taste just like the Fuego Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
They look the exact same as the fruit punch.
You're right, they do. They look exactly the same as the fruit
inside
punch.
sprinkles.
Oh, so that would be fun. So we could do like peep roulette and we could have a whole plate full of fruit punch, but one or two fierce cinnamon hot tamale mixed in there and kind of surprise your friends.
Okay, ready?
Here we go.
These are okay. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon, so this is good because there's not that much.
See, I like real cinnamon flavor, like the sort of slow warming spiciness of cinnamon. These are like the hot, fast cinnamon, if that makes sense. Like what you might get from a little red hot candy.
Yeah.
Those little cinnamon hearts, for example. Not bad. Again, I probably wouldn't eat a lot of these.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? We didn't score fruit punch, by the way. What would you give a rating for fruit punch?
Like a D.
D. Wow. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
We've never had a D before.
Well, we've had D pluses. We've had D minuses.
Never had D
We've had
flat.
Fs, but never a D flat, huh? So, yeah, shout out to Fruit Punch Peeps for the first ever D flat on the show.
Ugh.
Liz, what do you think about the fierce cinnamon? You've got a little bit of the aftertaste going on, huh?
Yeah. Maybe like a C.
Maybe like a
flat.
C. C flat. So we ran the gamut here. We had like all the way from A's all the way down to D's. You spill your water on the table again.
I managed to
Each
spill
and
my
every
water
week. Every single episode, you spill water on the table.
That's why every time we go silent for a second, that's me spilling my water.
Luckily, not on your keyboard.
This time.
Liz, one of the things I noticed about the Peeps, now that we've eaten too many and I'm starting to feel sick already, you get like the little bits of sugar on your fingers, and they can kind of, if you're a sloppy eater and you're like licking your fingers after you eat every one of these, you get a little bit of the color on your fingers too.
I don't see.
You don't have very much. I usually get it if I eat like a whole sleeve of Peeps, especially the yellow ones. The blue ones are much more noticeable, but the yellow ones, for whatever reason, just kind of stick to my fingers. You know what, Liz?
What?
That reminds me
Of
this week's snack.
Up next on Junk Feud.
Up next on Junk Feud, it's Cheez Doodles.
That's what Chase calls it.
Man,
Cheez Doodles.
Cheez Doodles. That's fun to say. Liz, what do you know about Cheez Doodles?
That they're like Chase's favorite food and that they sound like gross.
They were Chase's favorite snack and they sound gross. Okay. I mean, sure. You are wiping the water off of the table with your hands and then wiping it on your shorts.
There's the same stains every time.
Yeah, because you spill your water in the same spot every week.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm so glad. Welcome back. Liz.
Yeah.
What are Cheez Doodles? Do you know? Do you know what that snack is? Those puffed cheese snacks.
They're like corn puffs with cheese.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. They're just extruded cornmeal. Isn't it weird to say that a snack is something that's like extruded?
Yeah.
That sounds gross, like scientific almost.
Yeah.
Well, Liz, it kind of is gross actually, because Cheez Doodles were not originally envisioned as a snack for people.
Really?
There were some agronomists at a corporation called Flake-All. They made like flaked animal feed, like food for horses.
Ew.
Yeah, they were working on new pet food concepts that were made from corn and cornmeal. And what they were doing is they were cramming all this cornmeal into an extruding machine, and sometimes the machine would clog up, so they would run water through it as well. And when the water would mix with the cornmeal, it would make sort of like a slurry. And what was happening is, as they were forcing it through these very small holes in an extruding die, the high pressures would make the water inside the cornmeal instantly turn to steam and expand when it came out and hit the air. And so it would puff the corn up. It was pretty neat. And there was this guy named Edward Wilson who was at the company at the Flake-All Corporation. And every time one of these little corn puffs came out, they were called Colettes. Every time one of these little Colettes came out.
Colettes?
Yeah, Colettes, like a little French girl, Colette.
Colette.
Wasn't that the name of Ratatouille's friend, Colette? That was the female chef in
Dad,
Ratatouille.
speaking the truth, I've never seen Ratatouille.
Oh my gosh, what? You've never seen Ratatouille?
No.
Rat Patootie?
Rat patootie.
The girl that hosts the podcast about food has never seen possibly the best food movie that there is.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Well, guess what we're doing right after this?
Tanning outside in the warm sun.
Wrong. Watching Ratatouille.
In the warm sun?
Maybe. I mean, if it's nice enough out, we can take the TV outside.
Really?
Sure, why not?
I need the tan.
You need to do this podcast.
Okay.
So, Liz, this guy named Edward Wilson at the Flake-All Corporation, he noticed that these airy, puffy corn snacks were like popping out of the extruding machine. So what he did was he chopped off a bunch of them into 3-inch lengths and he took them home and he started mixing them with different seasonings. And he had invented essentially a crunchy, salty, new snack that he called corn curls.
Corn curls.
Yeah, because they kind of like curled up when they came out of the machine. It was pretty neat. And then later, he had another coworker there at Flake-All. His name was Clarence Schwebeke. And Schwebeke, that's fun to say too, isn't it? Cheez Doodles and Schwebeke.
Yes.
So Schwebeke applied for a patent in 1939 for a new design for the extruder machine that was made specifically to make these kinds of snacks. And then they brought them to the market in 1946.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Liz, 1939, the patent for the machine that would make Cheez Doodles. What else was going on in 1939? Any idea?
The University of Oregon won the first ever NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Yeah, that's right. March Madness just ended. The first ever March Madness won by the University of Oregon.
Is it Oregon or Oregon?
Well, you know what? It's funny. So most people say Oregon, I think, except for people that live in the state and they say Oregon.
I always said Oregon Trail.
Yeah,
Oregon
I think a
Trail.
lot of people said it that way. I'm not sure. I don't know what the actual pronunciation is. And I
Because my
think
teacher always said Oregon.
Oregon, was she from Oregon?
No.
No. Where was she from?
I think she's from Texas.
Texas, even better.
Miss Warehan. Shout out to Miss Warehan.
Shout out to Miss Warehan. Liz, 1939, Batman debuts in Detective Comics.
Batman.
Yeah, the first ever issue of Batman.
The Baseball Hall of Fame opened in Cooperstown.
That's right. On our Cracker Jack episode, we talked about the Baseball Hall of Fame. That was the inauguration in 1939.
And is that World War II began?
Yeah, so that was kind of the big thing that happened in
The
1939.
sad thing.
Yeah, the Nazis invaded Poland, World War II.
Poland.
And also John Cleese born, 1939.
Yay!
Faulty Towers.
And Sigmund
Monty Python.
Freud died.
Sigmund Freud died in 1939. That's right.
Yoink.
Liz, we're talking about history right now. Like most snacks that we talk about, the history of the Cheez Doodle is a little bit murky. And so are the timelines, actually. So we talked about like early 1930s, corn curls are invented by the Flake-All Corporation. 1939, patent. 1946, brought to market. But even before the Flake-All patent in 1936, there was another guy in New Orleans whose name was, appropriately enough, Elmer Candy.
Elmer.
That's a pretty good name, isn't it? Elmer Candy.
Elmer.
Elmer
Sounds
Candy.
like Elmer Glue.
It does sound like Elmer's Glue or Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
But in this case, Elmer Candy, who was a New Orleans baker who was making baked puffed cheese snacks, and he called them, guess what?
Cheewies.
Cheewies. That's a good name. I like that. We got Cheez Doodles, we got Cheewies, we got corn curls.
Corn curls.
These are pretty good.
And Cheetos.
Yeah, so 2 years after corn curls were brought to market in 46, and then in 1948, there was a guy named Charles Elmer Doolin, another Elmer, who invented Cheetos, but that's not exactly the kind of snack we're talking about today. So the Cheetos are those, hard, crunchy little corn snacks.
Yeah.
And the cheese puffs that we're talking about, like Cheez Doodles, are the bigger puffed ones. Now, Cheetos has its own version of corn puffs.
What do you like more, Dad? Puffs or hard?
Oh, can we save that until we get to the bliss point?
Yeah.
Because I think that is an important distinction for what we're talking about. Because, in fact, Cheetos has its own version of the puffed snacks, but they didn't come out until 1971.
Really?
Right. And just a few years before that, the snack we're talking about today, specifically the Cheez Doodle, was invented. Cheez Doodle, that's right, in 1964 by a guy named Maury Yohai.
Yohai.
All these guys have great names.
He was
Cheez
the
Doodles,
president.
Cheewies.
He was the president of King Cone Corp.
Yeah, what did the King Cone Corporation do, Liz?
They made ice cream cones.
Yeah, they made ice cream cones in New York, and that is a really good name.
Yes.
Yeah, and Maury Yohai and his friends came up with the name Cheez Doodles because they started making these snacks, extruding puffed corn through a high-pressure machine and coating it with cheese and baking it. And as they were all sitting around just kind of eating these things, mindlessly munching on them one day, they came up with the name, and it was Cheez Doodles.
Who came up with mindless munching?
Mindless munching? I think it's just a thing that people say because it's alliterative.
It's really fun.
It is really fun. That's like sitting in a movie theater with a bag of popcorn is mindless munching.
Mindlessly munching.
That's right. Later on, list 1976, the Hers Company, helmed by a guy named Edwin Herr.
I know the Hers Company.
Yeah, so we've got Elmer Candy, Charles Elmer Doolin, and Edwin Herr.
Whoa.
A lot of E's there. Edwin Herr started making cheese curls in 1976. He never claims to have invented them, obviously. And today, a website called taquitos.net says that there are more.
I love taquitos.
You had taquitos the other night for dinner, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Where
pretty
we
good.
met Uncle Pat's Boo.
That's right. Shout out to Annaline.
No, Uncle Pat's Boo.
Oh, that's her
Her
official
is
name?
Yes, Uncle Pat's Boo.
Okay. Shout out to Uncle Pat's Boo. Anyway, taquitos.net list says that there are 460 different varieties of puffed cheese snacks.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, that's a lot. But Liz, back to Maury Yohai for a minute, because first of all, because I like saying Maury Yohai. That's
Maury
really fun.
Yohai.
He was actually a fascinating guy. Maury Yohai graduated from the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. You know who else went to the Wharton School of Business?
I have no idea.
Former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, how about that? So after Maury Yohai graduated, he went to work for Grumman Aircraft. He was building airplanes. And then during World War II, he kind of got caught up in patriotic fervor and enlisted in the Navy to go fight in World War II. But he realized that he wanted to take flight training because he figured if he worked at Grumman Aircraft and he could build planes, then certainly he should know how to fly them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so he switched over to the Marine Corps and he started flying planes over the South Pacific.
Whoa.
That's pretty neat.
You go, Yohai.
Yeah, Maury Yohai was a fascinating guy. I read his obituary list. He died a few years back. He said the invention of Cheez Doodles was his greatest accomplishment. That's pretty good. And his most prized possession was a picture of famous television chef Julia Child eating a bag of his Cheez Doodles.
Whoa.
Yeah, Maury Yohai, until his death, lived with his wife on a giant mansion in Long Island Sound, and they called it the house that Cheez Doodles built.
Oh.
That's pretty good, right?
Very.
Guess how many Cheez Doodles are made every second, Alyssa, today?
220.
220 Cheez Doodles produced every single second, 7 billion a year. Did you know this? There is a National Cheez Doodle Day.
When is it, Dad?
March 5th.
March 5th.
Yeah, we missed it. That was poor planning on my part. We should have done this a month ago.
Yeah.
Liz, you've heard of Cheez Doodles. You've heard of corn curls. You've heard of Cheetos Puffs and
Reese's Puffs. Peanut
also
butter chocolate flavor.
Reese's Puffs, which are not related to this at all. Have you ever heard, Liz, of Cheesy Poofs?
No.
Cheesy Poofs?
Cheesy Poofs.
Cheesy Poofs. Do you know who says that?
Poppy?
Poppy? Like your grandfather?
Yes.
No. Eric Cartman, Alyssa, the character from South Park.
I've seen South Park, only one episode.
Which episode of South Park have you seen? Wait, I'm sorry, hold on. You said you didn't like South Park?
No.
I think you probably need to watch more than one episode. There have been like hundreds.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
I guess so.
Yeah, and in fact, Liz, the characters on South Park, Cartman in particular, loves Cheesy Poofs, which is a made-up snack, which are essentially cheese puffs or cheese doodles on the show.
Cheese Doodles.
Yeah, he loves Cheesy Poofs and snacky cakes. And on the show, Cheesy Poofs come in a little green box. There's a little rocket ship on them. Cartman eats them by the box full. In fact, Cheesy Poofs from the show, so popular with real fans in real life that there was a limited edition run of the snacks that were produced in 2011. You could buy like actual Cheesy Poofs at the store.
Did you ever have them?
I did not. I think they were probably just repackaged, rebranded cheese puffs that were made by some generic food producer somewhere.
Yeah.
But later on, there was a toy company called Kid Robot that made an 11-inch interactive plush Cartman doll where Cartman was dressed as a Cheesy Poof, and it came packaged in a Cheesy Poofs box with little plush Cheesy Poofs as an accompaniment inside.
Wow.
Do you remember what that one episode of South Park was that you watched?
No clue.
No clue? Don't even remember what happened on it?
No.
Well, it's a hugely influential show, Alyssa, in popular culture, for better or worse. My favorite episode of all time, Scott Tenorman Must Die.
Oh.
Yeah, in that one, Cartman tricks a bully of his into eating chili that's made from his parents.
Oh.
You don't sound impressed.
Does he wear like a blue shirt?
Does Cartman wear a blue shirt? It's either blue or red, I guess, right?
Because I remember he has brown hair,
Okay.
I think.
Eric Cartman wears a red shirt and a blue hat, and you can't see his hair. But he does have brown hair because he's taken his hat off once or twice on the show.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, fictional character, so none of that really matters.
Yeah.
Liz.
What?
Part of the appeal of eating cheese puffs, just like Cartman eating his cheesy poofs,
Just mindly eat them.
They're really good for mindless munching because they're very light and very crispy and very salty and very flavorful. And we're going to talk about all of that in a moment when we try them. But the other part, the thing we were talking about earlier, all that cheesy dust gets all over your fingers when you eat them.
Yeah,
It
and then
looks
you just
like-
build up.
Yeah, you can like it builds up in layers, like spackling of cheese dust on your fingers.
Yeah.
Do you know what Cheetos calls the cheese dust?
What?
It has a name.
What?
It's called Cheetle.
Or it could be Cheeto farts.
I mean, I guess it could. We really usually just call it Cheeto dust or cheese dust.
Yeah.
Getting cheesy fingers, though, is like the big appeal of eating this stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, Liz, friend of the show Jim, once wrote a treatment for a script, like a movie script, called Cheesy Fingers that was about a kid that loves cheese doodles.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you're a kid, it's not really a thing that you notice because you don't really care. You're just sticking your hands into the bag and eating as many as you can. But when you're a parent, it is like a terrifying proposition for children to be eating these things, especially if you have white furniture.
Yes.
I think we have seen on your brother many, many times a giant orange handprint on his shirt or pants from when he was eating cheese puffs.
Yeah, because he doesn't like use a napkin.
That's right.
He just wipes it all over his shirt.
And of course,
I do that also, though.
Well,
so.
you do. You just did it now with the water from the
Yeah,
cup
but
that you spilled on the table.
water's different and like doesn't stain.
Yes, that's true. But you do have many, many stained shirts and shorts because you refuse, for whatever reason, to use a napkin.
Yes.
Although I will say, when I was a kid,
Nakam.
nakam, like you used to say when you were little.
Paschetti.
Liz,
What?
when I was a kid, I didn't like using napkins either, and I would wipe my mouth on the collar of my shirt. I would just pick it up like that over my mouth and wipe my mouth on it. Grandma would get so mad at me.
Whoa.
You know, speaking of little kids, we said this earlier. Your brother Chase, this was one of his favorite snacks when he was little.
Yeah.
He doesn't really eat them anymore, though, does he? I haven't seen him try them in a long time. He went through a phase like he was eating.
He said he was gonna eat a lot of them though.
Yeah, he would go through like an entire bag of the Cheetos Puffs.
And then he just stopped liking
And
them.
then one day he just stopped like altogether. But you know
he
what's
does
funny?
that a lot though.
It's true, he does. He has very particular tastes.
Especially with like rice soup.
Rice soup, sure,
Like,
his favorite
he
thing in
used
the
to
world.
Eat it all the time. And then one day he was just like, ew, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Campbell's chicken and rice. He would eat a can of Campbell's chicken and rice soup
For
like
every
every
meal.
single day for every meal. And then one day he just said, nope, I don't like that anymore.
Same with pancakes, but now he likes that again.
Yeah, that's right. You know what's weird, Liz?
What?
The same thing kind of happened with me and Cheez Doodles. I used to love these when I was a kid. This might have been like my first favorite snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cheese Puffs, Cheez Doodles when I was a kid. I mean, well, Cheerios, I think, of course, was my first real favorite snack because it
I
was.
didn't like Cheerios, I think.
You know, it's funny. Before there were those little Gerber baby puffs snacks that you could give to little babies, the ones that look like pieces of cereal but
Those are
basically melt
really
when you
good.
eat them. Yeah, they are. They're very softly, very gently flavored.
There's a good like banana one.
The banana ones are good. The strawberry ones are good. The strawberry banana ones are good.
Yeah.
How about that? But Liz, before those were invented, parents would just give their kids Cheerios because it sort of accomplished the same thing. They were small snacks that were moderately
if you
healthy.
Swallowed them, you could still breathe.
Yeah, because it has a hole in the middle. That's right. That's why
Isn't that the
lifesavers have a
same?
hole, I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
I almost died from a lifesaver.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was I?
You were at Grammy's house and we were there too. That's when I had my allergic reaction. And then mom goes, eat something else, eat something else. And then I ate like a lifesaver. It got stuck in my throat and then I vomited it up.
Oh, well, that has been story time with Alyssa, folks.
I have the worst experiences with food.
I mean, that's pretty bad luck, sure, to have an allergic reaction to a meal bar and then to choke on a lifesaver immediately afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. But Liz, these the Cheerios, the cheese puffs, all those kinds of things are relatively mildly flavored snacks that children can eat a lot of.
Yeah.
They're not very dense. They're brightly colored. They're easy to pick up and eat. They're not too crunchy, not too chewy, not very spicy, sort of like right in that Goldilocks zone for snacking.
Oh, Dad, I was looking in the sink. The other day, did you eat spicy chips with chopsticks?
I sure did. I'm learning lessons from you. You're teaching me all sorts of fun stuff to do. I ate a whole bowl of Flamin' Hot Cheetos Limon with chopsticks. So that I didn't get Cheeto dust or Cheetle, as we learned, all over my fingers. And even though I'm responsible and wouldn't wipe it on the couch, I mean, just in case.
Even though you would get it all over your video game controller as you're eating them.
Oh, that would be terrible. I would imagine, Liz, especially because the PlayStation 5 controllers are white, that around this country and this world, you can probably find some like darkened basement dwellers whose PlayStation 5 controllers are completely covered in Cheeto dust.
Yes, and like chocolate.
Yeah, oh, that's so gross.
Oreos.
Yes, a fine film of funk on their
fine film
fingertips.
Of funk. Yes.
That's right.
Chasey, I forgot what I was saying. Never mind. I was saying something with Chase, but I forgot.
Well, I mean, Chase, speaking of your brother being a little kid, when I was a little kid, Liz, I remember this very distinctly. We had these old aluminum cabinets in our kitchen. They were bright white, painted white, and they were really loud when you would bang on them. And I thought that was like the coolest thing when I was a kid, that I could play drums on these cabinets. But there was one where I think Grandma kept like colanders and big mixing bowls. And when I was very little, I would pull all of those things out, all those like Tupperware bowls and colanders, and I would sit inside this cabinet because I could fit in there perfectly. And I have this memory, I don't know if this ever happened or not, but I actually have a memory of sitting inside that white aluminum cabinet eating Cheez Doodles, Liz.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
I can fit in Danny's cabinet when we play hide and seek.
Oh, shout out to Danny. I think I remember you fitting inside your brother's laundry hamper as well.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. Where do you think I hide?
In Danny's cabinet and Chase's laundry hamper.
Yes.
Shout out to Danny.
In my laundry hamper. That's a good one also.
Yeah.
Because it has like a little flap over top.
Liz.
What?
It's funny. You're going to remember this stuff when you get older. These are going to be some of your favorite memories, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
It's time for my favorite part of this show.
Alyssa reads the ingredients.
Alyssa reads the ingredients list. Tell me about the ingredients in Cheez Doodles.
Okay, so there's cornmeal, vegetable oil, contains one or more of the following: corn, cottonseed, sunflower, or canola oil, wheat, salt, cornstarch, calcium carbonate, buttermilk, cheddar cheese, cultured milk, salt, enzymes, monosodium glutamate.
Very good.
Flavor enhancer.
It sure is.
Annatto, calcium, and sodium casinates.
Mm-hmm.
Milk derived. Butter oil, yellow 6, lake, lactic acid, yellow 5, lake, natural oil, natural flavors.
Liz, I'm very good. I'm excited for this because there are a lot of things in here that make for good snacks.
Yes.
I'm looking right away. Salt, buttermilk, real cheddar cheese, MSG, butter oil. These are all like big flavor blasts.
Yes.
And I'm happy to announce that Cheez Doodles have real cheese. That's pretty good. It's not just like a cheese powder.
Dad,
yeah?
Do you like the Cheeto Puff cheddar cheese, like the yellow ones, or the white ones more?
Oh, good guess, or good question there, Liz. You know what? I don't know. I don't usually like white cheddar cheese snacks. I vaguely remember friends of mine when we were little getting that pre-popped white cheddar cheese popcorn. And
those were good, though.
I always thought those smelled a little bit like feet. Like white cheddar cheese snacks smell kind of like more funky than I would like in a processed food.
They smell like feet, but they taste good.
Yeah, like I don't mind a real good funky cheese, but I don't know if I want like popcorn coming out of a factory to smell like Subway bread, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, Liz.
I've always preferred like the white cheddar cheese puffs.
Really? So you like Pirate Booty then?
Yeah.
Well, in the future, we're going to do a Pirate Booty show, so I think we're going to have a Pirate Booty showdown with whatever snack wins today.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I'm spoiling a little bit because we don't just have Cheez Doodles. We have lots of other snacks to try too, so I think we should get to the rules of the game.
Okay.
Junk Feud is a culinary clash to see which treat will be crowned the undisputed champion of snacks. It's a King of the Mountain style battle in which the reigning champ takes on a new challenger each week to see which snack reigns supreme. And Alyssa,
yeah,
the reigning defending undisputed champion of snacks is
Butterbeer.
Listen, I expected more of a fight from Cheesecake last week, honestly.
That cheesecake was not very good.
I know, we kind of got jobbed out by the juniors frozen cheesecake. It was pretty crappy.
It was kind of gross.
Yeah, it just wasn't that good. I do like cheesecake. It is like a very basic dessert, but a very good one, a classic.
Yeah.
Not enough to dethrone the champ, though.
No.
Well, let's see if today's snack has what it takes. Today we're trying Cheez Doodles from the Wise Snack Corporation and our boy Maury Yohai, R.I.P. to a real one.
R.I.P. to a real one.
But wait, Lissa, there's more.
There's lots more.
Yeah, we're also going to try cheese puffs and cheese curls to see if there's any difference between Doodles, Puffs, and Curls. And also we're going to try something called Jacks, Alyssa.
Yes.
Which are also just cheese curls. So we have Hers.
Bachman Jacks.
Jacks from Bachman. And then we have Cheetos Puffs.
Yes.
Yeah, so Liz, you know what that means?
What?
It's crunch time. That's right. We rate our snacks using a tier list from sprinkles to fun dip.
Sprinkles to fun dip.
So snacks can be graded A, B, C, D, or F, with the very best treats earning the elusive S tier ranking. The following contest is scheduled for one serving.
One serving.
And is for the undisputed championship of junk food. So Liz.
What?
It's time. Doodles, Puffs, or Curls? Who you got?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess we start with Cheez Doodles.
Yeah.
So we've got the bag of Cheez Doodles here from Wise. They say Cheez Doodles, baked puffs, cheese with a Z.
$4.29.
$4.29 retail from ShopRite. We did not pay retail for these. They were on sale. It does say really big right on the front, made with real cheese, and the flavor is identified as cheddar. This is a big bag. And you're trying your hardest to open this bag.
The cheese one, right in my face.
Cheese blast! So just like the cheese snacks are extruded and expand rapidly when they hit the air, so too does the cheese dust that's inside of this bag. So, wow. I
already got a whiff.
You got a whiff. So that is, as Chester Cheetah would say, seriously cheesy.
Cheesy.
It smells like, if you recall from the days of your youth, Planters cheese balls that came in the blue can. They're back now. You can actually get them, but they were a snack that we had when we were younger and have been discontinued for a while. So I've got a single cheese doodle here, and they look
the smallest one.
Yeah, I guess I kind of did. They look like I'll get one that's more regularly sized. They're slightly curved. They have an overall yellowish flavor with a burnishing of orange on the outside. That's probably the cheese. Liz, there's no way to get around it. These things all look like styrofoam packing peanuts.
With orange cheese dust.
With orange cheese dust on them. And if I recall, that's usually like the major complaint about eating these things is that they just have the texture and shape and appearance of a styrofoam. But I don't know. Let's try them right now. Let's pop one of these in and see how the cheese doodle does.
Okay.
Here we go. Cheez Doodles.
Oh,
wow. Great crunch.
Good.
Yeah, great crunch on these, Liz.
Get a big one.
Wow, that is So these are all supposed to be like cut at 3-inch lengths, but you just got one that is like the size of a hot dog.
Oh, goodness. I'm mindless munching.
Yeah, don't have too many of these because we've got 3 other bags to get through here. But I mean, first off, the cheese flavor comes through. It's a good accompaniment with the corn because you can definitely tell that this is a baked corn snack. It has that sort of corn undercurrent, like so many other snack foods that are based on corn do. Get out of there as you dig in again. And Liz, the first bite of this is like a pure nostalgia bomb. And in fact, Wise plays this up because the copy on the back of the bag says in large capital letters, "Remember recess." Like they are
not enlarged. They're like pretty good sized.
Oh, yeah. Does it say enlarged to show texture on the front? I don't think it does. I mean, these are actual size as depicted on the bag. Yeah. So those are Wise Cheez Doodles.
We've got our Cheezels.
And you have Cheetle fingers already. Let's see. What do you want to do next?
Oh, no. Pick with your eyes closed.
Well, I think we're going to go right for the Cheetos Puffs because these are the ones that have the best branding because they're a Cheetos product, and Cheetos and Chester Cheetah are very prevalent.
You know what I like, Dad?
In the snack food branding culture. What's that, Liz?
The Cheeto Puff Paws.
Cheeto Paws. Yeah, those are good. You know what? Earlier this year, or I should say late last year, Liz, I had the...
Whoa, look at this one.
Oh, you got a seriously curly one there on the Cheetos Puffs. So these are... I'd say these look exactly the same.
The orange is more neon.
Yeah, it's a bit of a brighter orange for the Cheetos Puffs. I want to take a look at the ingredients here. Slightly more ingredients. The cornmeal is more enriched. This has, this is interesting, Liz. This has cheese seasoning,
These are
which
fluffier and
includes
lighter.
cheddar cheese.
These are like fluffier and lighter, Dad.
Yeah.
Softer.
They also have MSG. They have whey protein concentrate. They have citric acid. That's interesting. Oh yeah, this is a completely different texture. They are definitely softer. I don't know if I'd say lighter, Liz. They feel like they're a little bit more dense to me, actually. That could be a function of the extrusion process.
All right, take those away.
All right, so far, Cheez Doodles and Cheetos Puffs, and they are very different, even though they look almost exactly the same. Yeah, I'd say there's more of like, it's going to sound strange to say this about a cheese puff, but there's more of a chew to the Cheetos than there was for the Cheez Doodles. Cheez Doodles more of a crispiness. These more of a chew to them.
All right, last bag.
Wrong, 2 more bags.
What?
Yeah.
Dad.
These are Hers baked cheese curls. So we've done doodles, we've done puffs, now we are doing curls. These say they are made with real cheese. They have the Hers chipper mascot on them, who looks to be some sort of rodent. I'm not sure that's entirely enticing.
With very red eyes.
Yeah, weird, right? Now, these identify a cheese blend as their seasoning. So, doodles, real cheddar cheese and buttermilk, puffs, cheese seasoning, curls, cheese blend, which does include cheddar cheese and also MSG in these as well. And these have butter, whereas the doodles had butter oil. So, this could be different as well. Let's try them out.
Don't flash me.
Wow, completely different scent upon opening these. So the cheese,
Really get a scent.
yeah. So give it like a little whiff. It's almost like a nacho cheese, like a spicy nacho cheese smell. Although I'm fairly certain that flavor's not going to be in there. But that's interesting. So doodles, traditional cheesy smell. Puffs, the same kind of thing, but a little bit more muted. And the curls, like all the way out in left field, completely different. I'd say these look pretty much the same as the other two. I think the Cheetos probably were still a little bit more neon orange than these.
Ooh.
Would you say?
Really salty.
Oh, yeah. Wow. The curls are super salty. Let's see if the 280 milligrams of sodium in a serving. Good God.
Oh, that's not for me.
270 for Cheetos. Liz, you're not going to believe this. 320 milligrams of sodium in the Cheez Doodles. Way, way more than either of these. Although they didn't taste as salty. Isn't that weird?
Ooh, those are really salty.
Yeah, the Hers cheese curls are super salty, and they do have a little bit of that nacho cheese tang to them.
Yeah, they do. I've never tried those before.
I'm guessing that's a function of the cheese blend, as opposed to just straight up cheddar cheese or cheese powder, or cheese seasoning, rather. These are interesting, yeah, but I don't think I could eat a lot of them.
Way too salty. I'm a big salt person.
And it's strange. It's strange to see that these taste so salty when they have less sodium than the Cheez Doodles.
Yeah.
And more than the Cheetos Puffs, I
Okay,
should say.
now last.
All right, so now the last ones, and I wanted to save these for last because this is a version that I don't think I've ever had these actually.
Me either.
These are Jax, Jax, real cheddar cheese puffed curls. So they're getting puffs and curls in one. This is made by the Bachman Company, which makes hard pretzels, Alyssa. And these have, let's see, cheddar cheese, just like the Cheez Doodles, milk fat, buttermilk solids. So not just buttermilk, but buttermilk solids. And then, interesting list, no MSG in this, but disodium inosinate and disodium guanylate, which are also flavor enhancers similar to MSG.
How much total sodium?
290 milligrams of sodium in these. So on the upper end, Cheetos the lowest, 270, then Hers 280, then Jack's 290, and then Cheez Doodles way up there at 320.
All right, open them up.
So let's fire these up and see how they are.
Sniff it up.
I will add, as far as packaging goes, the Hers bag, the only one with a window to see the product inside. The others all completely sealed. I'd say the scent of these is similar to the Cheetos Puffs. Yeah. Strong cheddar cheese, but not as strong as the Doodles. Yeah, these are very curly. They look like little shrimp, actually. Like they're that curly.
Oh, very crunchy.
Yikes. Wow. Big flavor in these.
Oh, look, it looks like a shrimp.
It does look like a shrimp.
Look at this side even more.
These are super flavorful in every bite.
Oh, that was a good one.
The texture of these is closer to the Puffs, the Cheetos Puffs, than it is to the curls or the Cheez Doodles. I think so far the Cheez Doodles have had the best texture, the best crunch to them, or crispness to them.
I like these.
Yeah, the Jack's very good, though. See, that's kind of neat. So there are different flavor enhancers in this one. The other three have MSG. This one does not have MSG, but has two things that are very similar.
I like the ones that look like shrimp.
Real cheddar cheese, real buttermilk solids, real milk fat, all of the things that you would expect from a great snack of this caliber. The texture just slightly chewier, almost gummier, like the
Yeah.
Cheetos Puffs instead of the Cheez Doodles. So that's pretty neat, Liz. I like that. I should say, in doing the research for the show, we checked out some other websites that had done comparisons of these different types of snacks. Sporked.com, which is the food vertical for Good Mythical Morning, said that they liked the Cheetos Puffs the best. The website, thetakeout.com, which I think was a Gizmodo property at one point, may still be, said that Jacks were the best, and they cited the buttermilk solids and the two flavor enhancers.
I have my lineup.
You've got your lineup already. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so then let's do it. Let's hit the bliss point list. What do you think? How do these snacks stack up? Curls, Puffs, Doodles, who you got?
Okay, so definitely Puffs. I would say Cheetos and Jacks.
Wow, you like the Cheetos the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheetos, Jacks, then the Cheez Doodles, and then the Hers last.
And then the Curls last. Okay, what do you think for letter grades, Liz? From Sprinkles to Fun Dip.
Okay,
Give me the tiers.
Cheetos and Jacks are both B+.
Wow.
Cheez Doodles are like a B-.
Okay.
And then Hers is very far down, like a D-.
D-. Wow,
Those
you
are
really
really
didn't like that
extra.
tang that the Hers cheese curls had, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm going to say, Liz, I think we're kind of close here. I'd say both Jacks and Cheez Doodles have my top spot, and they're tied. Jacks because the flavor is better. Doodles because the texture, the eating experience is better. So I will agree with you and say B+ for both of those. So we both gave Bachman Jacks, surprisingly enough, a B+. I also think Cheez Doodles get a B+. You had them slightly lower. I think the novelty of the cheese curls is a little bit, at least, more interesting in that weird sort of nacho cheese flavor that they have. More interesting than the Cheetos Puffs. I thought the texture of the Cheetos Puffs was a little bit off-putting for me. That sort of like chewiness, that almost gumminess from the cornmeal. So I'll say both of those C. I think these are average snacks. I think you could eat a Cheetos Puff and say, yes, that is a salty, crunchy snack. This is crunchy salt. I like it. It's fine. We could measure other things against it. But for me, yeah, I say Bachman Jacks and Cheez Doodles. So we're both in agreement. Bachman Jacks, B+.
Yeah.
Nice snack. How do you think they do against Butterbeer, Liz? Butterbeer getting kind of long in the tooth here. Very long title reign.
I don't think so. Like, they're really good, but I don't think it will beat Butterbeer.
Yeah, you don't think that a standard cheese puff is going to beat Butterbeer.
No, but they're really good.
They are really good, and you're going back for more and dropping them on the floor. Well, you know what that means, Liz.
Your winner.
And still reigning, defending, undisputed champion of junk food, Butterbeer again.
Yeah.
Wow, Butterbeer, very, very dominant. We're like in Roman Reigns territory here, Liz.
Yeah.
And you know what else is very dominant?
What?
The flavor of Milk's favorite cookie. Liz, we have
The new Oreo.
an invocation of the Oreo rule. We have brand new, to us anyway, because we record these episodes in advance, blackout cake cream Oreos, Liz.
Yes.
Yes, this is Oreo blackout cake flavor cream, artificially flavored, limited edition Oreos. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
These are about to be a mouthful.
Oh, I can't open these. I always hate opening Oreos. Okay.
So how do they look, Liz?
One right in the middle.
Wow, they're dark. So
All right, so I need a regular one and a twistable.
2 chocolate sandwich cookies, 2 different types of chocolate cream in the middle.
Oh, the cookie looks really dark.
Wow, these smell great, Liz.
They smell like a chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah, there's like a buttermilk sort of buttercream tang to at least one layer. There are 2 different layers of cream in the middle. So these are like double stuff thickness. There's like a thins level layer of a lighter brown cream, and then sort of like a standard Oreo layer of what looks like a deep, dark, almost black frosting.
Oh my goodness, that's really good. The cream is really good.
So let's try this out. It looks like these are standard chocolate wafers, so there's not going to be anything new or novel about those, but this is all about the cream. And in fact, it says it on the packaging, blackout flavor cream. Here we go. Wow, that is serious.
It's good though.
Yeah, like super rich. My goodness. It tastes like a slice of chocolate cake, which I shouldn't be surprised by that. It says it on the package. It's chocolate and chocolate and chocolate. That's pretty wild. I don't know, Liz, I don't know if I've ever had a blackout cake, like an actual blackout cake. What about you? Have you had blackout cake?
I've definitely had chocolate cake, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've had blackout.
So apparently blackout cake, invented in the 1940s in Brooklyn by Ebinger's Bakery, 3 layers of devil's food cake with chocolate pudding, chocolate frosting, and a chocolate cake crumb coated exterior. So, like all in on chocolate. That's pretty wild. These are good. I like them. I can eat one. I don't know if I could eat any more than that. What do you think?
They're good. It's just a lot.
Yeah, this is a lot. Like one of these is putting me down. And I ate like 7 Peeps earlier.
Chocolate cheese.
Chocolate and cheese, yeah. Liz, there are people that like chocolate and cheese paired together.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know any of them, but from what I understand, they exist. I don't know. That was pretty good, Liz.
Yeah, they were.
But you know what wouldn't be good?
What?
Back to Cheez Doodles for a moment, because it's time that we ask a very important question.
Will it deep fry?
Will it deep fry? Can you deep fry this week's snack, Liz?
Probably.
Do you think you could deep fry Cheez Doodles?
Maybe. Probably.
So these are all baked already. They're not fried, as far as I can tell. I don't think that these would be very good battered and fried like all of the other fried snacks that we see.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't do a funnel cake around a cheese doodle and fry it and eat it. That would be pretty gross. Unless, in fact, deep frying cheese doodles will put you close to calamity, because I found on YouTube, this was like down a rabbit hole here, but I found on YouTube from 2015 a Swedish television morning show.
Really?
With a name that I couldn't pronounce. And the host, they, like sometimes on talk shows, they'll have a little kitchen island set up with a burner on top of it, and they'll have people come in and make food and tell jokes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like Matty Matheson does it sometimes. It's really funny when he does it.
Yeah.
Well, on this show, they were trying to do something like that, and they had a pan with oil in it, and they were trying to pan fry cheese doodles, puffed cheese snacks, Liz.
Did it work?
No, they set the kitchen on fire.
Oh my God.
They set the television set on fire, and the woman looked very panicked for a moment as the cheese doodles and oil just were set ablaze on top of this cooktop that she had there.
Well, guess we have our answer.
Yeah, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, you should not and cannot and probably wouldn't want to deep fry cheese doodles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you would want to do though, Liz?
The back of the box?
Yeah, we would check out the back of the box. We would definitely want to do that, and it's time to check out the back of the box, a weekly segment where we play a little game. This week's segment is, Alyssa,
A new segment.
a new segment called Crispity Crunchity.
Crispity Crunchity.
That's fun to say, isn't it?
On Crispity Crunchity,
I ask Alyssa if she thinks that a certain snack is crispy or crunchy.
that's
It's pretty
it.
easy.
That's
It's
the entire
very
segment.
simple. That's the segment. That's right. Liz, Crispity Crunchy, the tagline for Butterfinger candy bars.
Yes.
Yeah, as advertised by The Simpsons, Bart Simpson in particular. Nobody better lay a finger on my Crispity Crunchity Butterfinger.
Oh.
All right, so let's say, Liz, first, before we start, definitionally, what do you think the difference is between crispy and crunchy?
Well, crispy is like a chip,
Okay.
and crunchy is also a chip.
Ah, see, this is tough. It's tougher than you think. That's why we're doing it. So let's start then. Let's say all the snacks we tried today, crispy or crunchy. Cheese doodles, crispy or crunchy?
Crispy.
See, that's a tough one, isn't it? How about the puffs, the Cheetos puffs? Because they were a little bit different texturally. Crispy or crunchy?
The outside was crispy.
Okay, how about the Hers cheese curls, the ones you didn't like?
Crunchy.
And then the Bachman Jacks.
Crispy on the outside.
Crispy on the outside. Okay, so those were a little bit tricky because none of those snacks, I think, are either exactly crispy or crunchy. They're sort of in the middle. Here's some easy ones for you to calibrate. Liz,
Yes.
Rice Krispies.
Crispy.
It's in the name, right. How about this one? Captain Crunch.
Crunchy.
Okay, getting a little bit more difficult here. Planters Cocktail Peanuts. Peanuts, are they crispy or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Crunchy, sure. How about this one? This is an easy one. Lay's Potato Chips.
Crunchy.
You think Lay's potato chips are crunchy and not crispy?
Well, they're both.
Both. Interesting. Fascinating. Here are two that I think are tough.
Really.
An apple, Alyssa. Specifically, a Honeycrisp apple. Is it crispy or crunchy?
What's a Honeycrisp apple?
It's just a variety of apple.
I don't know. Crispy, I'm assuming?
Well, how about any apple that you've had? Crispy or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Yeah, see, Honeycrisp is a little bit difficult because it says crisp in the name, but apples are generally crunchy, right?
Yeah.
How about former reigning defending undisputed champion of junk food, movie theater popcorn?
Crunchy. Because, imagine popcorn being crispy.
Interesting. So do you think there's any difference between the two different types of kernels, the butterfly kernels and the mushroom kernels? Is one crispier or crunchier than the other?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's kind of a trick question, isn't it? Well, I think that was an excellent segment, Alyssa, and I don't think we came up with any real definitive answers, did we?
No.
And
Wait,
I'm
Dad,
sure, yes, dear.
do we have our Around the World in 80 Bites box?
We do, but we are desperately out of time, and the tape machines are rolling here.
Dang it.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll do Around the World in 80 Bites. We still have some good stuff in the Munch Pack.
Because I want to try the chips we have.
Oh, we do have some really good chips in there. We have, in particular, some Canadian all-dressed chips that I'm kind of anxious for, although we do have...
I wanted to try.
Well, you may have to try those offline because we have an entire show centered around all-dressed chips coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. In fact, I think that's going to be an excellent show. And also, in fact, this podcast should reach you in excellent condition, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. If you've got a question for us, you can write to the address on the label. That's junkfeudpod@gmail.com. Liz, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Nope.
No, of course not. This podcast has contained your recommended daily allowance of fun. For more, go to Twitter, Instagram, or wherever you choose to be social and find us at Junk Feud Pod. You can watch fun-sized reviews on YouTube, buy our merch on TeePublic, and don't forget to catch all the snaction each and every week wherever you listen to podcasts. Until we see you again, for Alyssa, I'm Mike.
Hasta lasagna.
Don't get any on ya.
Bye. Hit him with the Riz.
Oh, boy.